Leader of the third party.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Today, the government released the Ernst and Young forensic investigation into BC housing. The report found and uncovered, quote, significant risk to public funds and serious questions about BC housing's financial oversight capabilities. The report outlines a pattern of disregard for conflict of interest rules. Now the government has announced that they have responded to the report recommendations, including actions that they are taking and others that are ongoing. It's clear that government is taking this report seriously. My concern, Honourable Speaker, is the pattern. We've seen over and over again rigorous reviews and findings of crime, misuse of funds, and harm to the public interest on everything from professional reliance to real estate to lottery operations to MCFD. Through you, Honourable Speaker, to the Premier, this is a pattern and it undermines the public trust in our institutions. I heard him speak earlier about how he sees that trust as so important. Will the Premier extend the recommendations of the Ernst and Young report insofar as they improve whistleblower protection, transparency, and conflict of interest rules to other provincial institutions?
Premier.
Thank you to the member for the question, and it is an important one. Public trust in public institutions is important for them to be able to respond to the challenges we face, everything from the housing crisis to climate change to the toxic drug crisis. And I thank the member for the important question. This government has introduced whistleblowing legislation, first implemented in core government, now going out to health authorities across the province, and that work is going to continue. In response to the recommendations from this report, additional whistleblower protections in place at BC Housing. And absolutely, we're looking for opportunities to put this in place at other government agencies and institutions through the Crown Agency Secretariat. And I think that really addresses the member's question, but there is one piece that I do want to add, which is when our government sees a problem, when we see an issue, we take action to investigate it and expose it to the public.
Members.
In the short term, can have a negative impact on the public's perception of Crown corporations or others. But in the long term, it's necessary work to ensure that public confidence. And that's why I was proud that the Housing Minister made the determination to release this report in its entirety.
Leader of the third party supplemental.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Indeed, the Premier does have a habit of initiating program reviews. These reviews tend to result in thorough reports. We tend to hear about wrongdoing and recommendations for government to work on. And then we see often in this place, as historically has happened, is one side points at the other and then switch sides and on we go. But at this point, Honourable Speaker, we've seen a lot of evidence that there are problems widely. We've seen evidence of wrongdoing and mismanagement at the BC Lottery Corporation, in real estate, in BC Housing, MCFD, professional reliance. The effects include mining disasters, missing children, outright crimes. The perception of conflict of interest goes all the way to the former Premier's board appointment with a mining corporation with whom his office has significant dealings while he was in executive office. Any reasonable person would look at this and see a systemic problem, and one that requires a systemic, all-of-government solution and a commitment to transparency. Through you, Honourable Speaker, to the Premier. Does the Premier have a plan for proactively improving transparency, whistleblower protection, and conflict of interest safeguards across all government ministries and agencies?
Premier.
Thank you to the member for the question. This is an area where certainly our government shares an interest with the third party. And during our time working together in the minority parliament, brought in significant reforms around lobbyists, for example, to address some of these issues. We have expanded and continued that work through whistleblower legislation to make sure that whistleblowers are protected. And integrity and public trust in government is core, certainly, to this government and our administration. And I appreciate the member's attention to that important issue to all British Columbians.